Hey guys, what's up? I am here to give you guys a recap on the new chapter of One Piece, which is on chapter 971. Now, this chapter must have been rough translated in a certain way by someone else, but it seems really accurate. Not to mention, after reading this chapter and looking into it, oh my gosh, man. Oden, oh my gosh. You guys might be wondering what is with you right now. Well, I'm about to get into that just a moment, and it's about Oden. If you read the chapter that has a rough translation, you'll get the idea. So if anything else, let's just get this started. We had the chapter open up with Momonosuke. Why is his health being checked all the time? But we see to it that Toki tells Momonosuke that you're gonna be the one leading this country someday, so you have to be okay, you know. And we get to see another scene where the boiling pot water whatsoever is where Kozuki, Oden, and the 9 others will soon be executed. And we see to it that Oden was being mocked, etc., where people call him an idiot, blah, blah, blah. And we have to it that Oden asks Kaido and Orochi, I like a chance that I must live no matter what. And the guy's like, what? You begging for your life right now? But that guy falls into that freaking pot whatsoever and ends up being fired up and ends up dying afterwards, dude. The way how he died was really gruesome. Because boiling hot water or oil, whatever it is. But we see too that Oden makes a declaration to Kaido and Orochi by saying, all 10 of us will enter this pot. But those who survive, let them be free by the time you decided, you know? And we see to it that Orochi's like, what are you talking about? You're supposed to die instantly. And we see to it that Kaido tells his men, one of his subordinates, to bring him a clock. And we see to it that Kaido makes a deal with Oden. If you survive this boiling execution in 1 hour, then you will be let go. How's that sound? And he says, you promise you keep your word? He says, of course. And we see to it that that Oden enters the pot and he ends up actually screaming in agony. But he even tells his subordinates to get on board and he decides to carry them. Oden is literally carrying all 9 scabbards that's with him onto a heavy wooden platform while being boiled or executed in that boiling water pot. I was like, oh my gosh, dude, this guy must be insane. And just by looking at Oden, he is actually doing the best he can to survive while his scabbard's like, let us carry you. But we see to it that Oden tells him to shut up and stay quiet. That's an order. And we see to it that Orochi does not like the idea of what's going on here. But Kaido's like, hey, all of them are in the pot, so there's no complaints, okay? And everyone's really surprised to see how Oden's able to do this and still able to survive. And we see too that Oden is still doing the best he can to live out, and it hasn't even been a minute yet. And we see to it that he's actually struggling really badly and he's burning up pretty hard. And we see to it that the 9 scabbards are really surprised to see how this is happening. And Oden, he's already bleeding out pretty badly, man. I mean, the guy's already in major agony and pain of what's going on here and there. And we see to it that 4 or 5 minutes have already passed, and people are saying, I'm very happy this guy's gonna die. And they call him Lord Idiot, blah, blah, blah. And Shinobu, who could not hold back her emotions anymore, she ends up hitting the guy and says, what the hell did you call him Lord Idiot for? And he ends up telling everybody, all you guys are idiots, you hear me? And even Orochi's subordinates of ninjas realize that it's Shinobu, and everyone's like, what is she getting excited for? And we see too that she screams out loud, making a speech to everyone who's watching the public execution of Oden by saying, you think it's thanks to him you live in peace today? Just watch, when you lose Oden, you won't even realize how much he protected you guys from this misfortune. And she ends up explaining what happened in the scenery between Oden and Orochi, you know? Here's what it is. She ends up telling them that Orochi is neither the shogun nor a dictator, nor does not try to rise above others. We go back to a flashback where Orochi explains to Oden when he tried to kill him or attack him by saying, you know, all the people of this country are criminals who have persecuted the Kurozumi clan. They can all die, I do not care. I got the shogun position to destroy this country to avenge me. We see to it that Orochi explains to Oden A long time ago, my grandfather performed Hakari like a criminal. My family was ruined and it could have been stopped. But you know what? My parents were hunted down by self-proclaimed vigilantes out of who knows where. They hit them and threw them into the rivers. They killed them. These fools scared me so much that they kept me from sleeping. He even stated like that when the one who had committed the crime was dead, it is the offspring of a daimyo killer. It is, if it had the name Kurozumi, even a kid would been called a criminal. Oden in this flashback was really shocked about this, and he says that's why all the people of Wano deserve a punishment. This is what they have done to us all this time. And Shinobu continues to give her speech by telling everyone, and what do you think happened in the back room? The offerings to Kaido, countless weapons, and hundreds of people kidnapped. You could sell it, have fun, or just kill them. And once they are brought over there, their life is over. Oden got so upset and tries to clash against Kaido, but we see to it that Orochi made a proposal to Oden. You want to prevent the kidnappings? Then you will lose the war if you go to war with us. We see to it that Shinobu tells everyone that the enemy only sought revenge and had no interest in the country. It was obvious from victory wasn't the only thing at stake. She even explained to everyone out loud by saying that's why Oden accepted the proposal. He danced naked every week at the scheduled time as an apology to the Kurozumi clan, so he did lose everything, but he saved 100 people with his dances. He believed in their promise to leave the country once the shipbuilding was complete, weekly visiting the provinces to make sure nothing has changed. Oden-sama continued to protect this country, so who is the Lord Idiot now, as Oden continues to try to hold out the execution to the best of his ability. You know, this execution reminds me too much of like when Oden was holding on to Whitebeard's ship for like 3 days, but it was only seawater and it was only cold, you know? Not to mention, when I'm just looking at the execution, it's boiling water or boiled oil, whatever it is called. Dang, dude. Oden is actually doing the best he can to survive, and we get to know why Oden danced all the time, each week, for the freaking 5 years that passed, because he's been doing the best he can to save the people. Not to mention when there's something involving them building a ship and leaving the country is the very reason why he accepted the proposal. He danced every week to save 100 people that were kidnapped, etc. And we get to know more of Orochi's backstory, why he hates the country and why he's punishing everyone altogether. Because his family was executed just because they had the name Kurozumi, etc. If you guys read the chapter, you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, this chapter is about Oden's execution and Shinobu revealing why revealing Oden's freaking actions of why he danced naked every week, etc. as an apology, you know, all else together. But looking at Orochi and Kaido, they're like foolish they're full of garbage filth as usual, because they're not going to keep their word. Just by looking at it, they don't even seem honorable enough to even do so. Not to mention, as for Oden, who's always an honorable good man, Kaido and Orochi aren't. So, but we all know how strong Kaido is, etc., you know? So, makes me question what kind of karma awaits for him, because he's way too strong. We're going to have to see how this comes out eventually. And let's not forget, Oden was the only one that gave Kaido his only scar and injury onto his body with his two swords. It makes me question if Zoro will have any role to play with that if he masters Enma. Anyways, yeah, like I said, this chapter shows Oden's execution and Shinobu revealing Oden's true actions and his true selflessness of why he did all he did, you know, while hiding the fact of what everything else altogether. Oh my gosh. Oda, man, you are one crazy guy, man. Oh man. Orochi, I can understand your vengeance and everything else, all tragedy of all society and everything else, but you're no dang better, and you're just being far worse than anything else, man. Your family was corrupted, evil punks, but I can understand that, but No, man. You're no dang different, and you're just being way worse than what they were. Whatever vengeance or whatever thing you're trying to think about yourself, you're filthy garbage to me from now on. Even like if it is justified or reasonable, and you're putting it out on innocent lives that had nothing to do with it, I don't know, but you're full of anyways, that's about it, people. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm Alpha Zero. Have a good day. I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot-toot-toot!